The Baltimore Ravens are kicking off the season with some tough news. Isaiah likely won't be on the field against the Bills on Sunday Night Football. One of the most important pieces of this offense is out right at the start, and that completely changes the way this team goes into Week 1. And the wild part is how it happened. It wasn't a big hit. It wasn't during a heavy game situation. It was in practice on a non-contact play, and it ended with a broken foot that already cost him the entire preseason. Now, the big question is, how are the Ravens going to handle such a tough matchup without him right out of the gate? The Ravens are opening the year without one of their top offensive weapons. Tight end Isaiah Likely is officially out against the Buffalo Bills, according to NFL Network. He's still not fully recovered from a foot fracture suffered in late July, and the timing couldn't be worse. It's prime time Sunday Night Football in a game that already feels like a playoff showdown. This isn't just about depth. Likely was carving out a key role alongside Mark Andrews, giving Lamar Jackson a dangerous tight end duo that created constant mismatches for defenses. Without him, Baltimore loses versatility and creativity in its offensive play calling. News like this always hits harder when you consider the timing. Week 1 isn't just another game. It sets the tone for the season. Facing a physical, aggressive defense like Buffalo without a reliable weapon like Likely could completely change the way Todd Monken draws up the game plan for Lamar. And there's an emotional side, too. The team was excited about Likely's development and the chemistry he'd been building over the past 2 years. Now, instead of hitting the ground running, they start the season without one of their emerging playmakers. That, what if he were here, thought is bound to linger in the locker room. But what makes it all even more frustrating is the way it happened. Likely's injury came on a random non-contact drill in camp. Something so ordinary that no one expected it to change the Ravens season opener. And that's where the story really takes a turn. The play that sidelined Isaiah Likely is a reminder of how cruel football can be. It wasn't a violent collision. It wasn't some massive hit. He went down during a simple non-contact position drill, going one-on-one with safety Sanusi Kane. It looked harmless, but the result was brutal. A fractured foot that required surgery right away. From that moment on, Likely's timeline flipped. Instead of building chemistry with Lamar Jackson and sharpening his game during camp, he was fighting clock, trying to recover in time for Week 1. Surgery wiped out all his preseason work, leaving the offense without him in those crucial final reps before the season. John Harbaugh tried to keep things positive early on. The day after the injury, he said he thought Likely might only miss a few weeks. But reality has been different. The recovery needed more time, and now the tight end will be watching the opener from the sidelines. This kind of injury hits more than just the body. It affects rhythm, confidence, and momentum. Likely was stepping into his 3rd year, ready for a bigger role. Instead, he's starting the season frustrated, having to fight his way back into rhythm once he returns. And while he works his way back, the spotlight shifts to who's next in line. That's where the Ravens' depth chart comes into play. And suddenly, another young tight end is about to get his chance. With Likely's sideline, the Ravens' tight end depth chart is pretty straightforward. Mark Andrews remains a clear-cut starter, but now Charlie Kolar steps right into the number 2 spot. For a guy who's been waiting for more opportunities, this is a golden chance to prove himself. On a massive stage, in Week 1, against a top opponent, that shift changes how this offense operates. With Andrews, the Ravens keep their biggest weapon at tight end, but depth is thinner. Kolar has shown flashes of talent, but he hasn't faced the kind of pressure that comes with a Sunday night battle against the Bills. For Lamar Jackson, it means making adjustments. He'll lean on Andrews as always, but he also has to give Kolar chances to settle in and build confidence within the system. Games like this can either fast-track a young player's development or expose the gaps that still need work. From Todd Monken's perspective, the playbook might have to shift. Maybe we'll see more 3 wide receiver sets. Maybe the run game takes on an even bigger role to ease the pressure on the tight end group. Every small tweak could matter in a matchup this tight, and all eyes will be on Kolar, because the comparisons to what Likely brought last season will be impossible to avoid. The question is whether he can hold up under the weight of that pressure.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, But before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
Looking back at 2023, it's easy to see why losing likely stings so much. He was trending up, playing in 16 games with 9 starts, and putting up solid numbers. 42 catches for 477 yards and 6 touchdowns. For a number 2 tight end, that's high-level production. And he wasn't just a regular season guy. In the playoffs, when the lights shine brightest, likely delivered. In just 2 games, he had 7 catches on 9 targets for 126 yards and a touchdown. He showed he could be trusted in clutch moments. When everything is on the line, those performances made him more than just Andrews' sidekick. Defenses had to respect him as a real threat, which created tough decisions. Do you lock down Andrews or account for Likely? That dynamic gave Baltimore's offense a unique flexibility. Now, with him sidelined, that chemistry with Lamar goes on pause. Every missed snap is a missed opportunity to strengthen that connection. And for a team with championship ambitions, details like this can swing the season. And that's why the conversation shifts naturally to the bigger picture. Because Likely isn't just about the present, he's part of Baltimore's long-term plans. Since entering the league in 2022, Isaiah Likely has shown exactly why Baltimore took a chance on him in the 4th round. In just 2 seasons, he's put up 108 career receptions for 1,261 yards and 14 touchdowns in the regular season. Add in 176 yards and 2 more scores in the playoffs, and you're looking at rare consistency for such a young tight end. That kind of production sets expectations. The Ravens see him as more than just Andrews' partner right now. They view him as a long-term piece, someone who could be a key part of this offense for years. This injury doesn't erase that potential, but it does slow down his momentum, and that's what makes it so painful. This isn't a depth player who rotates in here and there. Likely has proven he can swing games, convert big plays, and take pressure off Lamar when it matters most. Losing him in Week 1 is a real blow to the offensive game plan. The big question now is how long he'll be out, and how Baltimore adapts in the meantime. Opening against the Bills is already a massive test. The way the Ravens respond to this absence could tell us a lot about how they'll handle adversity the rest of the way. And in the back of everyone's mind, players, coaches, and fans alike, is the same thought. When Likely finally returns, will he pick up right where he left off, or will it take time to get back to that level? Only time and the field can answer that. Isaiah Likely's absence in the opener is a reminder of how quickly things can shift in an NFL season. He was building momentum, putting up strong numbers, and proving he was more than just a compliment to Mark Andrews. Now, Baltimore has to adapt without one of its most reliable weapons, and they have to do it against Buffalo in prime time. The question is simple. How much will this absence affect the offense in Week 1? And once Likely is back, will he be able to immediately return to the level he was reaching? One thing's for sure, this opener is more than just a test against the Bills. It's an early check on whether the Ravens have the depth and mental toughness to overcome setbacks. And the way they handle this first challenge might set the tone for the entire season.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.